What's up guys, we're back again with another problem. Today we need to find the longest palindromic substring. So we are given a string and we need to find the longest palindromic substring. What is a palindrome? A palindrome is a string where the first element and the last element are equal, the second element and the second last element are equal, and so on. So if you read it from left to right or right to left, it's the same. So we need to find such a substring. There are few ways to do it. The first thing that came to my mind is, what if I have this string and then I reverse the string? Then I'll find the longest common substring between both of the string, this S and its reverse. But I wasn't able to implement that successfully. There were some issues which were identified. So what I did is I simply created this method which checked for each and every which picks each and every substring, and it calculates if this is the longest substring or not, and so on. So how do I do that? First, I created two variables called max length and index. The start index, which was 0 and 1 at the time, because the max length cannot be less than 1, because there must be at least one character in it, otherwise it's nothing. Then what I did is I created this function called palindrome, and in that what I did is I took a string s, a variable low and high. Initially I passed I and I in it, so these both are equal. Then I checked if low is greater than 0 or equal to 0, if high is less than s dot length, and both the characters are equal, just decrease the lower and increase high, increment the high and decrement the low. After that what I will have is, we are starting at this index I. Then after sometimes, if this is equal and that is equal, what will happen is, let's take this example for A. If I'm starting at this index, then A is equal to A, of course. Then low will decrease and high will increase, then it would be B is equal to B, yes. Then low will decrease, but it won't be able to decrease because we are at the length. So my function would end, my while loop would end, and we'll have BAB. Then what I'll do is I'll calculate the length. My high right now would be at 1, 0, 1 and 2, and my low would be at 0. So it would be 2 minus low minus 1. That would be the length of my substring. And then what I would do is I would check if my length is greater than the max length or not. If it is greater than the max length, I'll change my start index to my lower plus 1. That is my lower, I'm so sorry, my lower would be at minus 1 in this case, because it won't be able to move in that loop, but my minus 1 would, this would have been executed. So after 0 it would be minus 1. So here for that it would be 2 minus 1, 2 minus minus 1, that would be 2 plus 1 minus 1. So it would give me a 3. So the length would be 1, 2 and 3. And after that, where was I? Yeah, my start index would be lower plus 1, which is 0, and then my max length would be equal to the length. So my max length would be 3. So I would be here. Then I would, in my function, I would go and return the substring of start and start index plus max length. So this is started as is at B, and my start index plus length will be at A. So what I will have is, I'll have a substring called BAB, and I would return that. And what if it is not that? What if it's not odd, it's even? So if it is odd, we need to take this, if we'll go through this call, and if it's even, we'll go through this call. This is for even and this is for odd length of substrings, and that is it. There's not much explaining to it. If you try this code on any other example, it would be super simple, super easy to understand why. And in the worst case, we have to run this loop for this loop runs for n square time. So we have to calculate for all the indexes, and that's why it will run for n square time. And that was it for this video. Thank you guys.